Imagine a picturesque suburban home hiding in unspeakable horror. Two elderly parents murdered, their bodies concealed for years by their own daughter. What would drive someone to commit such a heinous crime? This is the chilling story of Virginia McCullough, the woman who turned her family home into a house of horrors. Lois and John McCullough were a beloved elderly couple living a quiet life in Great Baddow, Essex. At 71 and 70 years old, they were pillars of their community, known for their kindness and dedication to their family. Lois was a retired teacher who spent her days volunteering at a local library, while John, a former engineer, enjoyed tending to his well-kept garden. Their family home was a modest but warm place, filled with photographs and memories spanning decades. In June 2019, their sudden disappearance shocked neighbors and friends. The couple had always been reliable and active in their community, so when the vibrant energy around their home faded, suspicions began to stir. Neighbors initially assumed the McCulloughs had gone on an extended trip or moved into a care facility. But as months turned into years, their silence became deafening. Unopened mail piled up, and their once lush garden fell into disarray, a stark contrast to John's meticulous care. Virginia McCullough, the couple's 36-year-old daughter, had a reputation for being devoted to her parents. On the surface, she appeared to be a loving caregiver, often seen running errands and handling household chores for Lois and John. However, beneath this veneer of dedication was a darker, more sinister personality. Friends described Virginia as manipulative and controlling, with a knack for twisting situations to her advantage. Virginia had struggled to establish her own life. Despite being bright, her academic pursuits and job prospects were consistently marred by poor decisions and volatile behavior. She relied heavily on her parents for financial support, often guilt-tripping them into giving her money. As time went on, her dependence turned into resentment, sowing the seeds for a chilling betrayal. The grisly truth came to light in September 2023, when police, acting on an anonymous tip, searched the McCullough family home. What they discovered was beyond anyone's worst nightmares: the decomposing remains of Lois and John McCullough, hidden in sleeping bags. Forensic investigators determined the bodies had been there for 4 years, during which Virginia had continued living in the home as if nothing was amiss. Virginia's confessions painted a horrifying picture of premeditated murder. She admitted to poisoning her father, John, using a lethal cocktail obtained through an online black market. The poison caused a slow, agonizing death, which she chillingly described as necessary to avoid suspicion. Shortly after, in a fit of rage sparked by a minor disagreement, she stabbed her mother, Lois, multiple times. Forensic experts described the attack as frenzied and personal, highlighting the depth of Virginia's anger. After the murders, Virginia took meticulous steps to conceal the crime. She wrapped the bodies in plastic, sealed them in sleeping bags, and stored them in separate parts of the house. For John, she constructed what she called a homemade mausoleum in a disused room, surrounding his body with personal items to create a twisted shrine. Lois's remains were hidden in a locked storage area, buried under piles of clutter. The breakthrough in this harrowing case began with a single, anonymous tip. Someone close to Virginia noticed inconsistencies in her stories about her parents' whereabouts. She had provided conflicting accounts, telling one friend they had moved abroad and another that they were receiving medical care. These discrepancies raised suspicions, prompting the individual to contact the authorities. When police arrived at the McCullough home, Virginia initially played the part of the concerned daughter. She claimed her parents were simply unreachable due to their reclusive lifestyle. However, officers quickly noticed inconsistencies in her statements and the condition of the property. The once pristine garden was overgrown, and the house, though outwardly tidy, had an eerie stillness about it. Investigators secured a warrant to search the home, and what they found sent shockwaves through the community. Using cadaver dogs and forensic tools, police uncovered the remains of Lois and John, carefully concealed but unmistakably decomposing. The discovery of air fresheners and industrial cleaners throughout the house further confirmed their suspicions. These items, combined with Virginia's nervous demeanor during questioning, painted a clear picture of guilt. Forensic experts played a crucial role in unraveling the timeline of the murders. Advanced techniques revealed traces of the poison used on John and matched the knife wounds on Lois to a weapon found in the house. Digital evidence also implicated Virginia, including searches for poisons and steps to conceal bodies. Financial records showed her attempts to access her parents' accounts, further solidifying the case against her. For 4 years, Virginia maintained an elaborate charade. She used air fresheners, industrial-strength cleaners, and scented candles to mask the smell of decomposition. She continued to pay bills, forged her parents' signatures on important documents, and even collected their pensions. To outsiders, she seemed like an independent woman caring for aging parents, but inside the home, she lived surrounded by death. Virginia's social media accounts told a different story. She frequently posted cheerful updates, sharing photos of family gatherings and milestones that never happened. She went so far as to send holiday cards on her parents' behalf, ensuring no one would suspect the truth. Friends who visited her described the house as unusually tidy but eerily quiet. Virginia's ability to maintain this facade for so long baffled even seasoned investigators. When police finally confronted Virginia, her reaction was as shocking as her crimes. Instead of breaking down, she smirked and quipped, "Cheer up, at least you've caught the bad guy." Her nonchalant attitude left investigators stunned. During questioning, she described the murders with a chilling lack of emotion, detailing every step as though recounting mundane tasks. Virginia's confession also revealed her twisted motivations. She saw her parents as obstacles, people who stood in the way of her independence. Their deaths, she claimed, were a means to an end, a way to gain full control over their estate. The extent of her manipulation became even clearer when forensic accountants uncovered her efforts to liquidate her parents' assets. She had drained their savings, sold off valuable possessions, and racked up debts in their names. In court, Virginia's true nature was laid bare. Prosecutors described her as a cold, calculating killer who exploited her parents' love and trust for personal gain. Her defense team argued she suffered from severe mental health issues, pointing to her erratic behavior and troubling childhood. However, the evidence of premeditation was overwhelming. The judge, in delivering her sentence, called Virginia's actions a grotesque betrayal of family trust and a horrifying abuse of parental love. Virginia was sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum term of 36 years before she can even be considered for release. The case has left the community of Great Bateau in shock, struggling to reconcile the image of the seemingly devoted daughter with the reality of her heinous crimes. The question of why Virginia committed these murders remains unanswered. Some speculate she was driven by greed, seeking to inherit her parents' estate without restrictions. Others believe her actions stemmed from deep-seated psychological issues, fueled by years of resentment and dependence. What is clear, however, is her willingness to manipulate and deceive, even at the cost of her family's lives. Friends and acquaintances described her as a ticking time bomb, noting her history of erratic behavior and manipulative tendencies. Virginia McCullough's case is a chilling reminder that monsters can hide in plain sight. As I reflect on this case, I can't help but wonder how many secrets are hidden behind closed doors in our own neighborhoods. It's a story that forces us to question how well we truly know those closest to us. The betrayal in this case cuts so deeply because it came from within the family, a place we all want to feel safe. In the end, justice was served, but the scars left by her actions will remain forever. The McCullough home, once a place of warmth and love, now stands as a grim monument to betrayal and tragedy. This was the harrowing tale of Virginia McCullough, the daughter who turned her parents' love into a deadly trap. Stay tuned for more twisted tales and eerie mysteries. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to True Crime Bites. Let us know what you think about this shocking case in the comments below.